Did you know that yawning may aid in cooling our brains down? According to scientist Andrew Gallup of SUNY College in Oneonta, New York, yawning allows us to cool our brains in order to improve mental efficiency. Sleep deprivation and exhaustion are correlated to an increase in brain temperature, but yawning increases blood flow and heart rate, which helps cool the brain. This is actually very similar to how dinosaurs used to cool their brains by inhaling through their nasal passages. So how exactly do dinosaurs cool down their brains by inhaling? To test this question, scientists used Pachycephalosaurs or Pachyes to study the dinosaur skull structure. Pachyes are dome-headed plant-eating dinosaurs with an incredibly thick skull. Pachyes were good candidates for this study because they are known to have an acute sense of smell due to the rather large olfactory region of the brain. Jason Burke of Ohio University studied simulations of airflow models through the nasal passages of Pachyes. These simulations showed that the inhaled air was not reaching the olfactory chamber. This did not make sense since the Pachyes had an acute sense of smell. However, he later realized that these Pachyes had turbinates and bony ridges in the front part of their nasal cavity. Turbinates are bony structures that protrude into nasal passages to help direct airflow. After redoing airflow simulations taking the turbinates into account, he found that the inhaled air was finally reaching the olfactory chamber as it should. In order to better understand how inhalation cooled the dinosaurs' brains, scientists began to study the turbinates more closely. They found that turbinates to condense water in nasal passages that can be lost when animals exhale through evaporation. Scientists also studied how blood played a role in the process of cooling the brain. Hot arterial blood is able to be cooled as it passes over respiratory turbinates that are in contact with cool air. As a result, venous blood that passes over the brain dura mater, or outermost fibrous covering of the brain, is also cooled and assists in thermoregulation of the brain. Without turbinates present in the front part of the nasal cavity, air would not be able to flow properly to the olfactory chambers, and blood would not be cooled as efficiently. So why is this important for the dinosaur survival? Overall, it's important that the dinosaur's brain isn't damaged by overheating. However, this cooling aids in the production of cold shock proteins that help protect the brain against brain damage. For example, RBM3 is a cold shock protein that prevents brain cell death. RBM3 and other cold shock proteins also enhance the ability of neurons to regenerate synapses. But why is it important that air is directed to the olfactory chamber in the first place? Dinosaurs are able to smell by using chemoreceptors that lie in their olfactory chambers. The importance of the turbinates directing air to the olfactory chamber is so that molecules from the air called odorants can bind to membrane-bound proteins in the olfactory chamber to activate olfactory neurons. The combinations of these various olfactory activations is what allow dinosaurs to distinguish between various smells to help them survive. This air is also able to reach the turbinates and lower the temperature of the arterial blood that flows to the brain. This oxygenated blood leaves the heart so that it can travel to the brain and provide the brain tissues with important nutrients and oxygen, as well as dispose of waste products and carbon dioxide from the brain. By using air to cool down, the arterial blood can go out to cool the brain itself and prevent it from overheating. Overall, dinosaur nasal passages were not only used for sniffing, but were also a way of cooling the brain and providing a means of thermoregulation. The nasal turbinates directed airflow in patterns that allowed the air to reach blood vessels, and these blood vessels carried cooler blood to the brain. Finally, the cooling of the brain allowed the dinosaur to achieve homeostasis, helping to prevent damage from overheating.